had a session by the by the Malaysian judge, and I asked him about technology coming into walking.
Yeah.
But today, it's only the human eye which catches it.
No, definitely the rule, as per the rule, the only human eye, judgment of human eye is called as official, not technology wise or your photographical, but judgment by human eye is called as official. So we don't know future maybe of this thing. Otherwise, there will be no role for judges to play.
And when you talk of sports, you see innovations in every sport. Uh, Hockey has become a 60-minute game, 4 halves. Cricket from a test match to ODIs and T20s. Do you think walking might have some innovations to make it more interesting for television viewers and spectators?
No, no. Now the innovations are there in walking. We have a electronic scoreboard where the warning given by the judges is on the scoreboard directly. Otherwise, in other places they use the carrying the warning card system. Now it is electronic. Automatically, it goes onto the scoreboard in a second.
You know,
So these are the innovations, and earlier we have only stopwatch timings. Now we have both the timings, like transponder timing we are using it, and photo finish also we are using.
you have the marathon 42.195 kilometers.
Yes.
The equivalent perhaps is the 50 kilometers.
Yeah.
Grueling, isn't it? Really grueling?
Yes, yes. 50-kilometer walk is quite grueling, but now in World Championships and all, we reduced that. The International Association has reduced it to 35 kilometers. Olympic still has the 50-kilometer race walk, but we are going with 20 kilometers and 35 kilometers in this competition. They qualify in 20 kilometers. They need to qualify for Olympics and World Championship. 35 kilometers for World Championship.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stanley, for talking to us. Right behind me, you have 22 of the girls or the women who are all set out for the 20-kilometer race. Remember the national record or the record in this particular event, Priyanka Goswami, 1 hour 28 minutes 45.00 seconds. So they're going to be going on for virtually 1 hour 30 minutes out here. I doubt whether the record will be broken. Wonderful climatic conditions. The temperatures are, I think, the ideal. For this sort of an event out here, dipping to about 18 or 19 degrees Celsius. The course is set here. Let's go and join action here in the first event, which is the 20-kilometer walk for women.
Thank you.
Well, hello, 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 hello. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 11th National Open Race Walking Competition 2024 in the city beautiful Chandigarh at Sukhna Lake from 30th to 31st January 2024. The event is organized by Athletic Federation of India in collaboration with Chandigarh Athletic Association. In the men's section, total 51 entries, and in the women's, 21 walkers will be in the fray for their excellence. For junior walkers, the distance will be 10 km. As the chief coach Radhakrishnan said, that this event will be the Olympic qualification event, and the sum of the glittering star and attraction of the events are Asian Games bronze medalist Vikas Singh, Paramjit Singh, and the national record holder Akashdeep Singh. Mr. Vikas, Paramjit and Akashdeep has already qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympics. The mark for the qualification was the 1 hour 20 minutes and 10 seconds. The one of the boy, the Suraj Kumar of Uttarakhand, who has just narrowly missed the Olympic qualification marks, will be in the action in 11th National Open Race Walking Competition. In the women's section, the Priyanka Goswami, who also qualified for the 20-kilometer 2024 Paris Olympics. And here goes the first event of the day, the women's 20-kilometer. The first event of the day, the women's 20-kilometer race walk final. In this event, the Priyanka Goswami also qualified in 20 kilometer for 2024 Paris Olympics. The Priyanka will not be in action in this event as she is currently undergoing training in Australia. The international judges for this event are the Ku Chongbeng of Malaysia and the Soma Kovacs of Hungary, Scott Nelson of Australia, and Mara Bellani of Italy. The course is measured by the Class A International Road Course Measurer, Mr. Fung of Hong Kong. And the race referee is Dr. Kuldeep, who is a world silver level referee. And the chief judge for the race walk is K.A. Joy. Welcome all for this next hours of excellent thrill and action at the National Wetland Sukna Lake. And the next few hours we will be interact with Mr. Wogley and we will try to entertain you in all the nitty-gritty of the race walking.
First event of the day, which is a total of 54 starters here in the men's section. Remember, the women's Priyanka Goswami set at Ranchi 1 hour 28 minutes 45.0 seconds. Ram just mentioned about a wonderful setting. As the women set out there on this course, we have Payal representing Uttarakhand in the lead, the early lead, but that's not going to make much of a difference to start off with. The 20 kilometers in the 11th National Open Championship. What a setting this is. I just mentioned 7th of October 1953 that the city of Chandigarh was inaugurated by the Honorable President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And then it was in 1958 that the Sukna Lake, 3 kilometers long from the Shivalik Hills, the water flows down. It's a natural lake formed by the water flowing in from the Shivalik Hills around us. You go into Panchkula and then into the locales. The men are all ready. The meet record in the men, Akshadeep Singh at Ranchi 1 hour 19 minutes 55 seconds, set on the 14th of February 2023. So he's there in the fray. He's going to be bib number 575. You can see him there to the right, 575 with a beard and a white cap. He's qualified for the Olympic Games to be held in Paris, as 54 of them set out on this course. And for those of you who are watching race walking for the first time, race walking, of course, as we all know, is a distant discipline within the sport of athletics. We virtually got about 3 hours of talking. Ram Nivas Yadav is with me, and to watch these 54 Ram and then those 22 in the women in the 20 kilometers, we're going to go on for virtually an hour and 29-30 minutes. That's one of the 5 judges that Ram did mention. Mara Bellani, Italy. She has been here earlier on in Bhubaneswar for one of the championships. The others, of course, are Scott Nelson from Australia. He comes from near the city of Melbourne. Cho Chong Wei of Malaysia. Soma Kovacs of Hungary, Budapest, where the World Championships were held. And we have our own George Shinde, the 5 judges here. We'll talk of the role of the judges, and we'll talk of the rules of walking for some of you who are watching a telecast in walking for the first time. But it's fascinating, very, very different from what running is all about. Remember, in running, the simple basic rule in the foot race, it is different from running. in that one foot must appear to be in contact with the ground. You see there, one foot has to be in contact with the ground at all times. And this is the other judge, Scott Nelson, at the far end. It's a 1 kilometer loop, and the race judges carefully assess that this is maintained throughout the race. Typically, these races are either on roads or running track, but this Ram is a fascinating sight. The Sukna Lake on the right, the Raj Bhavan behind us, flower beds. You can't ask for anything better. The rock garden of Nekchand is also about half a kilometer from here, and I'm sure with the lead still with Bib 144 Payal, but early days, we are just into, I suspect, the first 6 odd minutes of this event.
Yes, Mr. Wagle, this is absolutely the fascinating venue. The lake is basically designed by the French architect Le Corbusier, and it is a national wetland, and the weather condition is absolutely perfect for the top class performance.
Well, you can't forget L. Verma, who was the chief engineer.
Yeah.
Although Le Corbusier founded the city of Chandigarh, but that was in 1953, as I said. 1947 is when the blueprint for Chandigarh was given, and along with Le Corbusier, L. Verma, the chief engineer, was the gentleman who designed the Sukna Lake, which is now not only famous in India, but tourists from all over the world who come to Simla and the other hill stations. Their first airport, of course, is Chandigarh, which is the base of some of the big aircrafts, the IL-76. It's also the Rafales who are based at Chandigarh, the famous Rafales, and the AN-32s, which ferry a lot of the load to the Leh and Ladakh region. So Chandigarh has got so much of importance. You have the satellite town of Mohali now on the other side in Punjab, and you've got Panchkula, which is in Haryana. So Chandigarh has some fascinating, and we're watching some fascinating race walking out here. You know, just in front of us, about 20 feet away, the sound of the feet grounding here in the early morning. You know, you dressed well for the winter. I can see that with a thick coat and with a head cap.
The judges are keeping the eagle's eyes on their straight knee and coming at the straight on the vertical line, vertical plane of the body, and avoiding any kind of infringement of rules, avoiding running. So now there is a mix-up of the men's and women's, and this is the 5, 6, 7. The red card, for the floating, as a symbolize, and there is a one more casualty.
So while Ram did mention about the red cards, there are only 2 rules that govern a race walking. The first indicates that the athlete's back toe cannot leave the ground until the heel of the front toe has touched. A violation of this rule is known as the loss of contact. So if you see that red card, Ram, we'll mention that, and maybe we'll request our producer to show that board again. One is the bending of the knee, which is what you saw out there. So there are 2 red cards already shown there. And the second rule requires that the supporting leg must straighten from the point of contact with the ground and remain straightened until the body passes directly over it. In fact, these rules are judged by the unaided human eye. So while Ram, technology has crept into every walk of life, you also have a situation where race walking is all now by the unaided eye, and there's one of them there, the judge from Italy, Marabellina. So it's the human eye or the human touch which is still prevalent as far as walking is concerned. I don't know when technology will creep into walking, but as Stanley mentioned, that if technology comes in, फिर judge का क्या फायदा है?
On the same point, Mr. Wagley has raised his eyebrow in the yesterday's seminar that why as the DRS system, the eagle eye is still prevailing in the cricket. Why the technology is not implemented in the Mr.
You know, I am old school. I'm old school. To me, the umpire is the important man, not the third umpire. So, if cricket today is with technology, the good old charm of the 40s and the 15th is all gone away. One day you will have a robo standing there instead of the umpire, and that's not what sports is supposed to be. So I'm happy that walking does not have technology. I did ask that question from a different point of view, but I'm happy the judges today are there. The 5 of the judges are still there, and that's the important part as far as walking is concerned, isn't it?
On this point, the Ku Chongbeng has advised the World Athletics has not adopted the rules. Otherwise, the technology is still there, and we can apply all these uh, cinematographic cameras, but the rule doesn't allows. So it's a human naked eyes that has to judge. But these officials are into the affair for the last 30-40 years. The officials from the international officials, Ku Chengbeng from Malaysia, and the Soma Kovacs of Hungary, the Scott Nelson from the Australia, and the Mera Balani of the Italy. These people are highly trained and highly conditioned to judge from the naked eyes. They are as good as the cinematographic cameras. So 3 casualties has been shown on the board. So one more, the red pedal for the loss of contact. The race referee for this championship is Dr. Kuldeep. He's a world silver level referee, and he's taking care of all the affairs that all the rules has been abiding, and there shall be no infringement. And also assisted by the chief judge for the race walk, Mr. K.A. Joy. So this is a world-class platform, and it's a wonderful venue, as good as for the any kind of Olympic championship and the world championship.
You know, something very interesting. I just met the commandant of the Army Sports Institute, Colonel Gill, and we will have a chat with Colonel Gill maybe a little later on. But Colonel Gill just mentioned that there are as many as a dozen athletes or a dozen race walkers are taking part out here. So the services are always represented at any event, and this is not an exception. The cream of Indian athletes, you know, whether it is track and field, throwing, you go back to Milkha Singh, for example, the EME regiment that he came from, and they are out here. So the services are lending credence to this walking event here today.
Yes, services is the shelter home for the world-class athletes like Sri Ram Singh. He has represented Raj Rifles, and the Neeraj Chopra. They are all has been catered by the Indian Army in the various disciplines.
Avinash Sable as well, the Mahar regiment, yes. Neeraj Chopra, of course, the Rajputana Rifles. But yes, coming to this event, as we did mention, the rules are judged by unaided human eye. The athletes, of course, regularly lose contact for a few milliseconds per stride, which can be caught on the film. But such a short flight phase is said to be undetectable to the human eye. So these are the rules as far as the athletes are concerned. What do we have in the lead? The last I remember in the women's section, Payal of Uttarakhand was leading. She still seems to be in the fray. It's now 10:22. They started exactly at 10 o'clock. That's the beauty of athletics or sports, where time, the discipline of time becomes so important. So we've been going on now for close to 22 odd minutes. The record, as I said before, Priyanka Goswami, 1 hour 28 minutes. So we got 1 more hour of walking, and Ram, we got 1 more hour of talking to be done.
Yeah, it's the same time the vocal marathon for both of us, Mr. Wagle, and for me, it will be a vocal marathon, and we have a lot of stuff to motivate, encourage our athletes as well as the audience. So the race walking has no tactics basically. It's a pure pendulumic moment, and the sheer endurance will play the vital roles.
Would you then say that race walking is a contest amongst yourself? You know, you're fighting a battle on your own body. You're not looking at someone else and saying, "Hey, I'm chasing that person," like you do in the 100 or the 200 or the 400 or whatever event. Here, you're actually, you're getting it your own body.
Yes, it's all the time. Your mind is giving you call for your muscles, for your muscle activation, for your buffer capacity, and various kind of fatigues. You have to fight against that, and it is your mind that has to be prevail for the 35 kilometers or 20 kilometers. It's a roughly 20,000 strides.
Yes, that's the leader of the pack still there. Is Suraj Panwar of Uttarakhand, the wonderful state. He's followed by BIP 582 Sahil from Punjab. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the hunt with 561. Also following there is the boy who is representing 561 is Aryan Amit, correction, from Haryana. So Haryana strong with virtually half a dozen. Manipur has got 3 of the athletes or race walkers. Delhi has 4. Oh, plenty of reds there. I don't like this red. Remember, I'm a Liverpool fan. The red. Manchester United are red. But we are now back to the women. It continues to remain the same with Payal representing Uttarakhand, the leader. She's got 2 of them on her heels. Manju Rani of Punjab. And there's a third girl just off your picture frame. So 3 of them now separating the others. I wonder whether that's the way it will remain. Ram, 142 is Munita Prajapati from Uttar Pradesh. So we seem to be having a North India leading out here in the walking event. Where is Mansi Negi? Did she start at all? Because I thought I'd seen her at the start, but she doesn't seem to be amongst the first 3. Picking up the important liquid there. That's the other question which was asked, wasn't it? Can an athlete be provided with a supplement from outside? And I think Cho said no, wasn't it? You have got to take the water drink or the nourishment from whatever is provided out here in on the track. 20 kilometers. Each of the loop is 1 kilometer. So we got 20 loops that they have to cover. A reminder that the men would do approximately 1 hour 20 odd minutes. The 119.55. Will the record be broken? That's the huge question. But short of that, they'll do about 120, 122, 123. Ideal conditions, of course, to break the record. Will we see it? And in the women's, they're hovering around 129, 130 is what I make this event now into the 27th minute of walk. So we still got an hour to go. And Ram, the main bunch soon will be separated. You can see that the main bunch is being separated with the others being stragglers.
Yeah, it's been a crowded display, and we can distinguish very soon that who is the leading. And as the Mr. Wagle has mentioned, the designated place are defined for the refreshment, and any kind of infringement will amount to be disqualification. There is also a penalty zone for any kind of infringement. You will be held in that area. And one more interesting point, the one judge cannot give 2 cards to one athlete. So that is for the follow the fair play in the sports and to so that the any kind of bias from the side of the officials can be avoided during the competition. So it's a
So Ram, I make it about 15 laps to go out here, which means that of the 20 kilometers that we are talking of, they have covered approximately. Oh, look at those reds now. They seem to be increasing as time passes. The bent knees seem to be the culprit out there. And the other, so the violations that we did mention are of the two types. One is for, of course, the lifting of the leg, which has to be in place. I did mention the rule to start off with. The first, of course, which dictates the athlete's back toe, which cannot leave the ground until the heel of the front foot has touched. And the violation of this rule is known as the loss of contact. Oh, what? Look at this setting out there. Which place do you come from, Ram?
I come from Chandigarh, sir.
Oh, there you are. So he's quite used to seeing the Sukna Lake. I'm not used to it. Yesterday, when I landed here, the first thing which I did, I'm just staying about 100 meters from this course. The first thing I did was to take a round of the Sukna Lake. You don't get such. We have the Arabian Sea in Mumbai. Back to the women. Payal continues to be in the lead with the other two. Will it change course? Manju Rani from Punjab, close on her heels. Ram, it looks as if the three of them are there and all the others have fallen behind. They need to do something very quick from here on, because the lead between 3 and the 4 has widened at this point of time.
Yes, Chandigarh has successfully conducted the National Cross Country Championship. It was in the golf course, and it was the one of the best venue, and the entire world has admired that. So the same way, this point is, I think, Mr. Wagle, I think this is a world class venue, and there can be any top class event at this surface, as the surrounding and as the atmosphere and the weather condition, everything is perfect for the top class world class events at this area.
So Suraj Panwar continues to be in the lead. He is followed by 14 to go. This is 14 to go from here on. With Suraj Panwar, we've got Servin from Tamil Nadu. Now that's a strange move that we're looking at. The Tamil Nadu boy doing well to be on the heels of Suraj Panwar from Uttarakhand. But in the women, as we will watch them, she is 143, Mansi Negi, who's perhaps lying at the back of the field. She's a young athlete. But Payal continues to be there. 145 is Shalini from Uttarakhand, not amongst the leaderboard, perhaps lying somewhere in the middle of the pack. The leaders in the women, the three of them, one of them might decide to break away, as we just got information, and we are back to the men out here. Suraj Panwar, along with him the boy from Tamil Nadu, 593, which is Sherwin, and then the others two there. Ram, some point of time with about 10 kilometers to go, I suspect the chalk will start getting separated from the cheese, or the cheese will start getting separated from the chalk.
So the term we use for that is the hitting the wall stage. So as when all of your energy reservoir is depleted, so that is the point when the energy system is shifting from the aerobic to the fat system, and that is very, very taxing on the body of the athletes. So whosoever crosses that the barrier, the hitting the wall barrier, so that they will be in more comfortable positions. So the effect of the distance, the 14-15 laps, is showing on the athletes' faces, on their legs. So some of them are looking tiring, and the technique also get disturbed when the body is not responding closer to the techniques.
Yes, the athletes, of course, stay low to the ground by keeping their arms pumping low, which you're watching there, close to their hips. And if one sees a race walker's shoulders, which you're now seeing there, then in which case the athlete is losing contact with the ground. What appears to be an exaggerated swivel to the hip is in fact a full rotation of the pelvis. It's a highly technical sport. Remember, walking is not simple walking, as Stanley mentioned when he spoke to me. It's not like a normal walker going for his walk in the morning with his wife or with his friends and then having a cup of tea. Race walking, as it's called, is a different cup of tea. In fact, athletes aim to move the pelvis forward and to minimize sideways motion in order to achieve the maximum forward propulsion. Highly technical and scientific. Ram did mention about anaerobic and aerobic, which are scientific terms, and all of this has now, as age has moved on to the next century, with sports medicine, sports science, back to the leaders pack. The two of them still there, holding on is on his heels is the Tamil Nadu boy Sherwin chasing Suraj Panwar of Uttarakhand. In the women, it's the same at this point of time. Payal with 142 on her heels is Munita Prajapati, and then behind her is Manju Rani of Punjab. That's the way this lead is maintained in the men and the women at this point of time. I make it close to 33 or 34 minutes of this event. We still have a long way to go.
Basically, there is two kind of technique: the Mexican technique and the Russian techniques. So, on the one technique, there is a more emphasis on the stride length, and on the another technique, there is a stress on this frequency, the stride frequency. So it's a highly technical. It's not a walking. It's a race walking. And when you compare their pace with the running, they are damn good boys. They are running and hitting almost the 3 minutes pace. This is a very grueling pace, and this the ordinary peoples cannot run with them at that pace with the boys. They are touching the speed of 3 kilometers roughly around that pace. So it's a very difficult to even run with them while they are walking. The common peoples, it's a very difficult to match the running pace with them.
These three girls in the fray, and these three girls, of course, neck to neck, just about half a meter separating each of them. Nothing seems to be changing. It's still the same in the women. Payal of Uttarakhand on the leaderboard, Manju Rani of Punjab, and Munita Prajapati, she is representing Uttar Pradesh. So these three girls continue there. On your picture frame is Scott Nelson, one of the 5 judges, and this is not the leader pack. We can see Akshadeep Singh, who is the meet record holder, 119.55, which is set on the 14th of February 2023 in Ranchi. The women's record was set in 2021. That also was in Ranchi. In fact, Ram, very surprising that 2 cities seem to be, this continues to be the leaderboard. Suraj Panwar and Sherwin, and I don't see 3, or there is number 3, 4 and 5 being 592, which is Sanjay Kumar lying in position number 3. You have 525, or is it 575? Yeah, it is 575, Akshadeep. So 5 of them in the men, separated by the other. 54 started off, 5 in the leaders pack, 22 started in the women. I don't see the Sri Lankans, Ram, anywhere out there. Yeah, this is the pack at the back.
Yeah, this is the middle pack, and the leaders are having a massive lead and determinantal lead, and it's very difficult to cover the leads in the race walk if the athlete is able to maintain the pace. And you can see the sweating. They are just taking a bath in the sweat. It's a liters and liters of sweating. You can see their shorts and their vest is completely wet. Their shoes even get wet.
So very interesting, Ram. This pack, 605, Suraj and Sherwin, are about to lap someone else. You said the middle pack, but I can see this, the 3 of them Suraj Servin, and 599 being Ram Babu of Uttar Pradesh. These three there on your picture frame, you can now see them lapping the boys that we did mention in the middle. So this is interesting. It's very clear that these are the classy athletes. These are the classy walkers. The question is, are we going to look at one of them qualifying for Paris, because that's going to be the ultimate dream of every athlete, and you can't have a better platform than taking part here in this wonderful locale. The Reds continue to go up. We have one of them, I think, saying thank you, which is bib number in the women's section 138. So Kamla, representing Rajasthan, sadly has to call it a day. Chandigarh has some wonderful shopping places, but Ram, I don't think that she came here with that in move. So she's had to call it. The first of them, the casualty 138, being Kamla, disqualified. The first of them, we've got 588 in the men, also in trouble. 588 being Ganesh Prajapat of Rajasthan. He gets one more and that's it for him. So the fourth one is, they also have the penalty zone, so we haven't seen much of the penalty zone so far. What was it for the 20 kilometers? Was it 2 minutes penalty?
This is 2 minutes holding
Penalty.
area.
That's right.
The athletes can sit there and they are not supposed to go outside. They cannot utilize that time. If suppose there is a 2-minute penalty, he cannot go for washroom or any other activities. He has to stay inside that. He cannot take advantage of that 2 minutes. That then the first casualty of the day is 138 of Kamla with the 3 bent knee violation and the airborne phase, and there's a one more warning. So the one judge can give 2 yellow cards to each athletes, and there can be as many as yellow cards, but the red card is that you have to avoid. And for that controlling, when there is a doubt, they can be held in the penalty zone, and we need to show that area also, and we need to cover that area also. So for the different distance, the holding penalty zone is, there is a different times duration is for the different events. For 50 kilometers, it's 5 minutes. So 138, the athlete from Rajasthan need to be work more on her technique. So
When you're not talking, keep the mic down. Otherwise, I don't know whether you're talking or not. When you're not talking. Yes, speed, of course. We did mention about the first of the casualties. Kamla, representing Rajasthan, was disqualified, as Ram did mention, with the 3 bends, the tablet that we call it, or the paddle that we call it. In fact, the fourth there on your picture frame, coming as a result of you see the one in the middle, the third one, and then the fourth ultimately causing her to be disqualified. So yes, this is not what any athlete, as we've been discussing, likes to. 588 also in the men seems to be a casualty, which is 588 being Ganesh Prajapat of Rajasthan, the 2 Rajasthan girls and the boys. And it's important that they get back to the drawing board. You always have a bad day at office sometimes. This is perhaps one of those days, a bad day at office. But the lead continues both in the men and the women that we are following. Payal in the lead. This is the girl from Uttarakhand that I did mention, Mansi Negi. She is not in the lead, having fallen back. We'll also talk of some of the big names as far as walking is concerned. But remember, speed in walking is achieved by stepping quickly with the aim of the rapid turnover. 4 reds in the men, 4 reds in the women, the 2 Rajasthan boys and the girls. And this, of course, minimizes the risk of the feet leaving the ground. The strides, of course, are short and quick, with push-off coming forward from the ball of the foot, again to minimize the risk of losing contact with the ground. Ram, we all know that world-class race walkers, male and female, you just mentioned some time back, can average under 4 and 5 minutes per kilometer in a 20-kilometer race. Oh gosh, 4 or 5 minutes. What do I take? I think I take 15 minutes to do a 1 kilometer. So these international athletes average about 4 or 5 minutes per kilometer, and that's the reason why you multiply 20 into 4 is close to 1 hour and 20 minutes. Simple mathematics. The Olympic Games, of course, race walking, the distances of 20 kilometers for both men and women. And it used to be the 50 kilometers for the men, now down to 35. 575 is the meet record holder on your picture frame. Akshadeep Singh is at the back of the pack, with the lead still continuing with Suraj Panwar and Sherwin. Well, I wonder if Ram, the early morning walkers, yesterday when I was here, I saw both in the morning and evening hundreds of local boys and girls, men and women from Chandigarh going for a walk. I wonder if they're there watching this telecast, or they're out here to cheer these athletes. Very rarely do you get such an opportunity in any city. And I think Chandigarh should be very proud of the fact that they're hosting this. Look at the greenery around. Not many cities get this. My city, Mumbai, has only cement jungle, hardly any greenery. And this is what they need to retain, and which is what I think the Chandigarh administration is striving to, isn't it?
Yes, this is a national wetland, and the 40,000 hectare around the Sukna is a terra nullis, the no man's land. So it's a banned for any kind of construction around the Sukna Lake. This is a national wetland, and this venue was the Asian rowing championship has been conducted before that, and in front of us there is a boating club which caters the rowing, sailing, kayaking, yachting, and very close to the left side of my side, it was a Davis Cup venue for the men's tennis. And this area has a 3 different court of it's a grass court tennis, then synthetic, and the clay court. It's the only place in India where the 16 different surface courts. Then there is a horse riding club near to this lake. So this is a wonderful place, well maintained greenery.
I've been fortunate to cover not only athletics, but remember before Mohali, cricket was played, Test cricket was played on Sector 16, wasn't it? If my memory serves me right. I've also done a lot of tennis matches here, the ITF tennis matches, $25,000, $40,000. So Chandigarh has got so much of history, but also the great Milkha Singh came from this city. You also had Brigadier Kuldeep Singh Chandpuri, Mahavir Chakra, the Battle of Longewal, who came from Chandigarh. He was also the president of the Chandigarh District Athletic Association. He was also a walker himself, has represented India as a judge in international events. The Chief of Army Staff, General V.P. Malik, stays in Chandigarh. So Chandigarh has a lot of armed forces history. I didn't mention about the Air Force, the Western Command headquarters are at Chandi Mandir. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. And you mentioned about kayaking. I saw a lot of the boys doing kayaking this morning on Sukna Lake before the start of this event. There is Mansi Negi, 143, the youngster. A lot for her to learn at this event. She is still in the junior ranks, into her own out here. And when we are talking of racing, like other sports, racing, of course, walking appeared in the modern Olympic Games in 1904 in the form of a half mile, 804.672 meters, which was a walk in the all-round competition, the precursor to the 10-event decathlon. And in 1908, that's the leader pack there. Suddenly, some of the others seem to have caught on with them. This is where the lead might start changing. Look at that pack. And this is the pack behind the leaderboard. So yes, in 1908 standalone, 1,500 meters and the 3,000 meters race walk were added, and excluding 1924, there has been at least one race walk for men and women in the Olympic calendar since then. Women, of course, race walking became an Olympic sport only in 1992. So, following years of active lobbying by the female internationalists, and then you have a World Cup race walking held biennially, and the race walk events appear in the World Athletic Championships, the Commonwealth Games, and the Pan American Games, amongst the others. Back to the leaderboard: 144, 142, and 143, 142, 136 correction. Payal, you have Manjurani, and then Munita Prajapati. That's the three. So Ram, very clear that in the women, these three have decided amongst themselves that we will continue to take the front position, and in the men, I suddenly seem to be seeing a change perhaps taking place. The men could be more competitive than the women, but in the women too, Ram, three of them are in the fray. That's back to the leaderboard again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them still close together. It could be anyone's race.
The women's were not allowed during the ancient Olympics times, and it took the women's race walk took almost 90 years later than the men's event in the Olympic Games. So they have to fight for their rights, and initially it is believed that women cannot go for the longer distances, so they have not been allowed. Now the events are at equal distance, the men's marathon and the women's marathon. It's a exact distance, the 42 kilometer, 195 meter. So they are equally powerful and showing the Nari Shakti, as the Prime Minister of India has mentioned. So this is a beautiful morning. The weather condition is perfect for the race.
1 hour 16 minutes 36. The Japanese Yosuke Suzuki at Nomi Ishikawa on the 15th of March 2015 in the 20 kilometers. Russia, the 116.43. Sergei Morozov, which was in 2008. So from 2015, Ram, 2015 now to 2020, for 9 years, the 20 kilometers in the men, 116.36 still stands. So it's not so easy breaking records. Some of the records I remember in the shot put, for example, of Yuri Sidik has been standing for well over 40 years. Florence hammer throw, correction, not the shot put, the hammer. Florence Griffith Joyner's record has been standing again for close to 40 years. So there's something about some of these events where breaking records in track and field have been extremely difficult. Race walking is not an exception. I did mention 1 hour 16 minutes and 36 in 2015. So it's been there for a good 8 odd years, not broken.
It's a sub 4 pace that is very, very tough to maintain during the 20 kilometer distance. So the qualifying mark for the Paris Olympics is
120, I think.
And I hope that from this bunch of the pack, someone will be touch that mark. And already the 4 athlete has qualified for the Paris Olympics, and it's the last 4 minutes to 5 minutes. The champions will be decided.
We are into the 52nd minute of this event. We might have suddenly one of the 5 who are bunched together. Yes, 119.55 is the meet record. So, if by my clock, 52, 53 minutes, we are still about 15 odd minutes or 20 odd minutes away from the finish of the men. The women started about 10 minutes earlier. In fact, the men started 10 minutes later. So, they've been going on for 40 odd minutes now. Try and get to you the laps remaining for the men.
The major participation from the men's section is the athletes from Haryana, from the Manipur, the Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. These are the major states in the men's sections, and the only one athlete representing the Assam, and the foreign athletes in the men's 20 kilometer is HMSR Harth of Sri Lanka. So the main athletes are coming from the 5 different states.
So 8 kilometers to go or 8 laps to go from here on. It still remains the 6 of them fairly close. Oh, look at the reds now. The reds seem to be increasing. There's no space there. They'll have to find space, get a new board. Oh, it's not so easy, remember. But what's gratifying, while 2 of them are out, 5, 6, 7 is the second of the boys or the men, being Sandeep Kumar of Haryana. Sandeep Kumar has been one of India's leading race walkers, Ram. Sandeep Kumar. So he's called it a day. The other was 588, was it? 588, being Ganesh Prajapat, was disqualified. So 2 in the men and 1 in the women. In the women, it was Kamla of Rajasthan. Back to the leaders in the women. Oh, this is a beauty. 3 of them. Each of them perhaps telling the mind, do I have the energy? Do I have the resolve? Suddenly piles seem to be withering away. It's 136. Manjurani of Punjab taking that slender lead. Will she be able to hold on or latch on to it? That final burst, Ram, will come from one of the 3. I don't see anyone else. There is 143 Mansi now there in 4. Will she be able to catch up with that pack of the 3? The combination of Payal, Munita Prajapati and Manjurani. That's the 3 in the leading pack in the women's.
Yes, we can see the border. The board is full of the red symbols as the race is on progression, and the later minutes, in the later hours, because of the tiredness, the athletes are unable to maintain their the techniques, that the rules that there must be a straightened knee and the heel striking first, as when they are trying to chasing the other athletes, and that causing the more infringement of rules. So in the later part of the race, there is a more casualties can be there. So already the 4 casualties are there, one among the women's and 3 among the men.
So yes, 2 in the men, 5, 6, 7, which was Sandeep Kumar, and 588 was Ganesh Prajapat of Tamil Nadu. In the women, we've got 1 that was earlier on, which was Kamla of Rajasthan, which is not bad. As we're coming virtually towards the closing stages of this event, you can see the grimace on the face. We did talk of the judges on the course to monitor. The scoreboard, which you just saw placed on the course. So competitors, of course, can see the violation status. If these violations do occur, the red paddle is shown. We'll perhaps try and show you one of the red paddles. That doesn't come very easy, does it? And for monitoring reasons, these races out here, as you see, are held on a looped course or on a track, so that the judges get to see the competitors several times during a race. A judge could also caution a competitor that he or she is in danger of losing form by showing a paddle that indicates either losing contact or bent knees. That's the leader. That's the leader. He still continues to be there. Suraj Panwar, Uttarakhand. The Tamil Nadu boy has fallen back. Servin. Ram, we now have from the 6th down to 4 in the men. Very clear that you will have a champion from these 4 that you just saw back to the women. This is the way it continues to stay. Payal tiring a wee bit. You have Manju Rani taking that lead. Oh, I think it's going to be extremely difficult at this point of time to say who between these 3 will take it away. I don't see 4. This is the back of the pack. 1 to 7 is Monica of Haryana, but she is not in amongst the leaders. And this is the leaders. Akshadeep seems to have slipped in now into 2nd position along with Suraj. He's got the experience. We started off with 54 in the men, 22 in the women. 1 in the women out for violations, the 2 violations that we did mention earlier on, and 2 in the women, 2 in the men correction have been disqualified.
So these are the last few laps that will decide the winners. So they have to maintain their pace for the next few laps, and the leader has to be in their same pace so the followers cannot chase them. So these are the deciding laps, and whosoever hold the nerves will lead the pack.
So it continues to be Suraj with Akshadeep in 2nd, about 10 odd meters separating these 2. And then at the back, you have the others. Sherwin has fallen away. Arjun Kumar representing Uttar Pradesh 595 is now got himself in 2nd position, and the Reds continue to come on the board. There they are, the leaders, Suraj, Akshadeep. You have Sherwin still there, and then along with them Arjun Kumar. So Ram, I have a feeling that you got still 6 of them. Anyone's race.
Yes, crowd is roaring and supporting their athletes. And let's see that out of these 6, who has a better finishing kick, who has a higher pace in the last few laps. That is very determinant for the winners. And very soon we can witness the first gold medal from the states of the India in the men's 20 kilometer and in the women's 20 kilometer race walk. This is the 11th edition of National Open Race Walking Competition 2024.
Suraj, Akshadeep, Sherwin. It continues to be the same pattern. We did talk about some of the rules that the judges are to follow. No judge actually can submit more than 1 card for each walker, and the chief judge may not submit any cards. It is his or her job only to disqualify the offending walker. Disqualifications, of course, are routine at the elite level. I still remember there was this case of Jane Saville, who was disqualified within a sight of a gold medal. Can you imagine? You walk for 19 kilometers and close to 20 and then find yourself disqualified. Gosh, that was in front of a home crowd in the 2000 and Summer Olympic Games or yet Liu disqualified 20 meters before the finish line at the 2017 World Championship. So 20 meters before the finish, Ram, your parents, your friends, your coach are saying, oh, 20 meters, gold medal iska hai, gold medal is hers or his. And what happens? She gets disqualified with 20 meters to go. Now, that's not what any athlete wants to see. And I'm sure these athletes here in the 11th edition of the National Open Race Walking Competition 2024, we are in the first month of January. The AFI has a packed calendar. We have the Khelo India University Games coming up in Guwahati, where you have athletics. Then you have NITJAM in Ahmedabad in the month of February 16 to 18. 6,000 odd athletes take part. Been privileged last year to be there in Patna. And you then have the Federation Cup. You have the Open Nationals. The first time that Chandigarh is going to host a relay carnival in March, 24th of March. You have the relay carnival in this city. You have individual events now for the 400 meters, for the javelin on the 7th of August. How can you forget that date? Neeraj Chopra winning the Olympic gold medal on that date. You have the throwing events at various parts of the country. So the AFI doing a wonderful job over the last 49 years that I've been associated with this institution.
That's great, Mr. Wagle, that you are associated with one of the best federation of the India, that is the Athletic Federation of India, and you are burning candle day and night for bringing all the highlights for the worldwide.
Just doing my job. Just doing my job. Yes, Adil Somariwala and Dr. Lalit Bhanot and the team, Ravindra Chaudhary. It's been a team effort. Back to the leaders in the men. It's going to be close here. I can tell you, Akshadeep, he's got the experience. So Ram, it was very clear. Akshadeep was lying way back, I think about 50, 70 odd meters, and suddenly he has decided, ab bahut ho gaya. Let me catch up with the leader.
That can be his tactical move, although there is no tactics in the race walking. So, as the sir was discussing earlier, the many athlete has been, victim of the losing their medals in the last 100 meters, in the last 20 meters and 10 meters. Because this is of the rules. In the last 100 meters, there is a no warning. And the chief referee can directly disqualify. This is the beauty and this is the rule of the games. Because we were discussing that why on the single card disqualified in the last 100 meter. Because suppose athlete has he has to qualify for 2-3 seconds and he can run and he can make his mark for the Olympic qualification. Therefore, the rule doesn't permit in the last 100 meter. There can be a single card and the athletes will be out of the contest.
That's the women just of your picture frame. Continues to be the same. Payal, Manjurani and Munita Prajapati. And this is the men. The two seem to be now separating themselves from 3, 4, 5, 6. Suraj Panwar of Uttarakhand and Akshadeep of Punjab. They are the leaders in this, the 20 kilometers. A reminder that you're watching the first of the two events here of the 11th National Open Race Walking Competition 2024. The 20 kilometers, and then it will be followed by the girls 10 kilometers under 20 and the boys 10 kilometers under 20. The reds continue to go up. The men seem to be the 54 of them. Virtually you got about a dozen of them.
I think the Somasekharan is the most busiest judge on the board and doing the most difficult task and putting a lot of red mark, and it's a difficult time for the Somasekharan, but although he has to show his heart and has to take the tough decisions, so whatever is coming from the officials, he has to make his the symbols on the board. So Somasekharan is doing the tough task and on the board.
5 kilometers approximately to go from here on, which means 5 laps. This is the back of the pack. I don't know whether Ram, you believe in the maxim, the old maxim of 1857 of Baron Pierre de Coubertin, who said that taking part in the Olympic Games is important and not winning a medal. Those days are all gone now. Winning the medal becomes the most important thing. But yes, the ideals that Baron Pierre de Coubertin started off with, to get the nations of the world together on one platform, irrespective of caste, color, creed, religion, war stopped. Remember the ancient times when the Greek and the Romans and the Athenians used to take part. Wars used to stop for those 15 days. And it used to be fierce competitions. The old stadium at Athens, where the marathon ended, very unique. The battlefield of marathon, as we all know, Philippides. So athletics has got so much of history. Going to the ancient Olympics down to 1896, the history of the marathon changing from whatever distance to now 42.195 kilometers, because that is where it was standardized at Windsor Palace in the 1948 Olympic Games, when the royal family, the children wanted to watch the marathon. So athletics has got so much. Oh, there you are, the leader pack continues to be the same. Suraj Panwar and Akshadeep Singh, 575. And the women continue to have the same, with under 4 kilometers to go from here on.
Yes, I would like to quote the words of the Baron Pierre de Coubertin. He is known as the father of the modern Olympic Games, and he quoted, "The important thing in Olympic is not to win, but to take part. In the same way, the essential thing in life is not to conquer, but to fight well." But this is a point where the amateurism and the professionalism has came into existence.
Try telling that to Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps, not to win a medal. Oh, they'll turn around and tell you, or try telling that to Neeraj Chopra.
Now the sports is $1 million baby, and it's a lot of money is pumped. So athletes shall be rewarded for their efforts. The pure amateurism is, I think, won't be feasible nowadays. It's a pure professionalism. I think is a good for the sports as for the society and for the petitions also.
Oh yes, why not? Because that's a livelihood. The life of an athlete could vary from 1 month to 5 years, 10 years, not beyond that. And that's the reason as to why it's important that it is now become a professional sport. Back to the women here. These are not the leaders, remember, back of the pack. But it's very clear in the men that it will be a contest between Suraj Panwar and Akshadeep. Akshadeep, the more experience between the two. He holds the meet record of 1 hour 19 minutes 55 seconds. This is the back of the pack. Servin was in second position till about 12 odd meters. The eye, of course, the aim on one single aim, to go to Paris, the wonderful city of Paris, the capital of France. It's not to see the Eiffel Tower or Champs-Élysées. That will come later on. So Paris is the home or the target. The second time that Paris will hold the Olympic Games. Very few cities get that privilege. India, of course, has that dream of 2036, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
India is bidding for the 2036, and this time we hold it the IOC session, the second time in the India.
In my city,
Yeah,
yes.
And hope that in 2036 we will be witnessing the Olympics at the largest democracy of the world.
143. Mansi Negi on your picture frame. And to her left is that leaderboard, 144 and 136. So, as I did mention earlier on, we will have him for a chat perhaps at the end of this. The men the Commandant of the Army Sports Institute, Colonel Gill. The services 12 in the 20 kilometers and 6 in the 35. And this Ram is only the Army Sports Institute. Perhaps you might have someone from some other regiment taking part. But of the 54, can you beat it? 12 in the 20 kilometers. So that's 25% of the race walkers are coming from the Army Sports Institute.
Yes, the hats off to the Army Institute Pune, and they are doing wonderful job in this area. And the Indian athletics shall be feel proud on their effort, and hope that with athletics they will also taking care of other sports also. Some of the sports are neglected, like I think the squash has not been fully covered by the other departments and has not given the patronage and shelter. And hope that Army will also take care of these sports, different sports that have been ignored.
You did mention squash. The Army or the Armed Forces have produced some wonderful squash players. Brigadier Raj Manchanda, and then later on you had Narjeet Singh, Armored Corps officer. You had Navneet Krishan, the serving brigadier now. So these services have contributed in a huge measure. I still remember a very dear friend. That's the leader there. Look at number 3, not anywhere close to them, about 15 odd meters, which might make the ultimate difference. But the leader pack continues to be the same. Will it be between Suraj of Uttarakhand or Akshadeep of Punjab? That's going to be the final burst, the word which Ram did mention. Suraj of Uttarakhand and Akshadeep, the experience, the meet record holder, will it be him? That's the huge question.
The Suraj is in the contest for the qualifying for the Olympics, Paris Olympics, and the timing for the Paris Olympic qualification mark is 1 minute, 1 hour, 20 minutes and 10 seconds. And hope and pray that the Suraj will touch that mark. Already the Vikas, Paramjeet and Akashdeep has already qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympics. And this is a beautiful place, this city beautiful, Chandigarh at the Sukhna Lake. And this is a national wetland and lot of migratory birds, like the walkers has migrated from the different part of the world, different part of the country for this contest. So this is a beautiful place, the wonderful morning, the weather conditions are perfect. As the last few laps to go.
Yes, race walking developed as one of the original track and field events of the first meeting of the English Amateur Athletic Association way back in 1880. So Ram, it's been an old sport, race walking. Although, you know, we've been talking about race walking being very different from the morning walks that we have. And the first race, of course, the codes came from an attempt to regulate the rules for the popular 19th century long distance competitive walking events called pedestrianism. Pedestrianism, of course, has developed like foot races and horse races as a popular working class and British American pastime, and a venue for wagering walkers. Organized the first English Amateur Walking Championships in 1866. I wonder, Ram, 1866 now down to 2024. Look at the progress. Look at the progress. We still have 2 disqualified in the men and 1 in the women. That's a good sign. Isn't that a good sign? It only goes to show the precision, the perfection that these men and women athletes have. They have a few red cards against their names, but the important point is that they are not anywhere close to getting 3 and 4. That's the sense out here. So, yes, the rather vague code, of course, was the basis for the rules codified at the first championships meeting in 1880 of the Amateur Athletic Association of England, which is the birth of the modern Olympic Games. And with football, I still remember, which is soccer, cricket and other sports codified in the 19th century, The transitions from professionalism, pedestrianism to amateur race walking was while a relatively late part of the process of a regularization occurring in modern sports. So walking or race walking has so much of history, goes back to the 19th century, and in the year 2024 with modern science, modern coaching, sports medicine, injuries to be taken care of. And I've been lucky to meet physiotherapists today. It's become a profession. So yes, a wonderful sport that you're watching here on a wonderful morning. For you in Chandigarh, if you're watching this telecast, do come in here. We still have the 10 kilometers for the under 20 boys and the girls later on at the same venue. Ram, it can be a wonderful picnic. Can it be?
Yes, the people always come to joy at this place, and the majority of the citizens, whenever they have to hang up, the best place is the Sukna Lake. And I would like to add also the front greenery. There is a walking track inside of that also. So they just allow for some duration. They give just pass, and you can walk in the backside of that the greener area also. That is called the natural trail.
I wish every city adopts this culture. Fitness today has become so much a part of all of us. Stress, tensions, workload, that dreaded disease called COVID, which struck this world. Obviously, don't want to talk much of it. It took away so much of sport, those 3 years. Remember the lifespan of a sports person. 3 years taken off that lifespan, Ram.
Yes, even the Indian relay team has not been allowed, and it was always at the verge of the qualification for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, and we deprived from our right just because of the COVID. They don't give the entry for the qualification.
Yes, the 4x400 meters Indian relay team, the Americans were shaken at Budapest, if you recollect. The Americans thought that they held the supremacy in the 4x400, and the Indians gave them a huge jolt. Mohammad Anas, and we are back here now to the men, the leaders, the two of them, the experienced Akshadeep and Suraj Panwar of Uttarakhand. I suspect, Ram, it should be between these two, the number 1 and number 2 at the finish. Unless, of course, someone from behind has strange ideas.
The Marabellani from Italy, as busy as the bee, the very busy judge, and showing lot of card for any kind of infringement. So the race is almost in the last phase of and the crowd is roaring and supporting their athletes. And very soon there will be a winner for the men's 20-kilometer race walk as well as the women's 20-kilometer race walk. This is a wonderful morning in the Tri-City, the city beautiful Chandigarh. And designed as this course is designed by the world class A course road race measurer, Mr. Fong from the Hong Kong.
So, Ram, the point you're making is that while the AFI has some wonderful officials whom I know over the last so many years, you also have an international flavor here. With 3 of the international judges, 4 of them, isn't it? 4 of them, the Australian, the Malaysian, Hungarian and Italian. There you are now. This is where it's all going to start happening.
Whether athlete has qualified or not, we are waiting for the official confirmation. Once the time has been confirmed by the officials, so that will be 2 athletes has qualified. Arshdeep has already qualified, but the Suraj will be the another athlete for the Paris Olympics.
Akshadeep.
And the Sahil has just narrowly missed by the 10 second for the Paris Olympic qualification marks. So this is a wonderful morning, dear audience. It's a beautiful race. Still, the women's section is in a fray for finishing lines. So this is the 11th National Open Race Walking Competition 2024. And this is the first day. And the men's and women's 20-kilometer event is in action.
This is where it all ended. 575 on your picture frame. A few minutes ago, Akshadeep, representing the state of Punjab, he's done a superb one. Day following second. This is where the girls started off early in the morning. They too are now in the final stages of this event. The last I remember, Payal was the leader. But what a race that Akshadeep, cool, calculated Ram. He was lying in the 4th or the 5th position at one point of time and then finally stole the show.
So the student from the various colleges and universities can see the effort, how tiring, they are wet, you can see the condition of the athletes, the effort they has been put. It's so tough, so tiring, very taxing on their body. You can see the degree of effort put by the women's and men's athletes. The athletes from the professional courses, from the BPEd and MPEd courses, they can see the degree of effort that requires in the race walking.
So while the men have finished with the winner in Akshadeep, Suraj in second, the men still continue on that long journey of 20 kilometers. Some of them still there towards the finish.
Yeah, Munita is in the fray, the bib number 142, representing Uttar Pradesh. So the pack was previously with Manjurani, Munita and Payal.
Has that changed? Has that changed? That lead? Check out.
Bib number 136, Manjurani is in action in the women's 20-kilometer race walk. So you had just witnessed the men's 20-kilometer race walk competition. This was the first event and the winner was the Akashdeep Singh. And his personal best was 1 hour 19 minutes 55 seconds. He has already qualified for the Paris Olympics. So Dimara Belani, as busy as the bee and keeping her eyes for any kind of violation, any kind of infringement, and forcing athletes to abide the rules framed by the World Athletics.
It's been a long journey for these men and women in the 20 kilometers. That journey for some of them is still not over. While we have the 1, 2, 3s in the men going through to finish the 20 kilometers with Akshadeep of Punjab romping home ahead of Suraj Panwar of Uttarakhand. It certainly has been a fascinating duel that we watched in the men and likewise in the women, where a bunch of 22 set off, but then it was the 3 of them. This is the girl, Payal the leader. Ram, just check who's leading in the women now. Oh, ये भी है. So the bell continues to ring for some of these men and the women in the final stages. So the lead changing hands in the women with Manjurani of Punjab getting into the lead. Payal, Manjurani and Munita Prajapati, these were the three in the leaders pack for a fair bit of time. But I suspect it is Manjurani who seems to have slipped away from the other two to get into the fray for that first spot. Towards the closing stages now, they set off on this journey at exactly 10 o'clock. So it's been an hour and 32 minutes that they've been going on here in the women. 129.20 is the qualification mark for the women for Paris. 128.45 is Priyanka Goswami's meet record here in the National Open Race Walking Championships, which is set in Ranchi in 2021. The men and the women still continue. It's not over for many of them, but the task perhaps would be not only even if you win, but the important aspect perhaps is to make sure here she is, Manjurani, Punjab. Will they take or sweep the 20 kilometers? Akshadeep, Punjab has already taken the men. This girl might be towards that target to give Punjab 1 and 2, or rather 1 in the men and 1 in the women. Can make out the difference between the men. Akshadeep and the others are still not finishing, but the beauty of track and field is the participation for these men and women. Weeks and months of preparation, and here she is now towards that target to take the title here on the first of the 2 days in the 20 kilometers.
In the women's 20 kilometer, the Priyanka Goswami has already qualified for the women's 20 kilometer 2024 Paris Olympics. And let's see whether the Manjurani can touch the mark. So this was the first event of the day. The men's 20 kilometer is over. Now the waiting for the women's 20 kilometer. This is a good exposure for the Chandigarh peoples. The Chandigarh crowd can see the athletes. It's a rare moment for them. They can witness and they can now distinguish what is the walking and what is the race walking. So it's a very tough event, very grueling, very taxing on your body. So here the 136, the Manjurani has touched the tape, and the clock is clicking at the 1 hour 40 minutes and waiting for the official times. This is 136 Manju of Punjab with a timing of 1 minute, 1 hour 33 minutes.
So she was the leader of the pack, 133 to take the first in the women's 20 kilometers. So Punjab sweep the 20 kilometers for men and women. Akshadeep taking the first, and this girl to the right. The contest between the girl on the left, Payal of Uttarakhand, and Manjurani of Punjab. And ultimately it was Manjurani who took the 20 kilometers for the women along with Akshadeep in the men.
So it's a congratulations to the state of Punjab that both the gold medal of the first event of the day goes to the Punjab.
Sorry.
So you are witnessing the men and women's 20-kilometer race walk for the 11th National Open Race Walking Competition 2024. The two gold medal has been decided in the 20 kilometer. The women's section goes to the Manju Rani of Punjab. This is the unofficial announcement, and we are waiting for the official confirmation of the result. And in the men's section, it's a Akash Deep Singh of Punjab. Chandigarh Police Band is acknowledging the effort of the race walkers, and the effort has been put by the Chandigarh Amateur Athletic Association. Congratulations to all the organizers of from the Athletic Federation of India and from the Chandigarh Athletic Association, that showcasing the brilliant organization of the event. Everything is in a precisely placed. So the next and the last event of the day will be the 10 kilometer under 20 women's at 11:40 hours, and 10 kilometer under 20 men at 11:15 hours. So still the bell lap is ringing and showing that this is the last lap to go. So the people of the Chandigarh feel proud and shall witness this great event. Very tough event, race walk. It has a history of almost 150 years, and a lot of technique and rules has to abide. (139) Nikita Lamba of Rajasthan is in action on the screen, followed by the 127 Monica of Haryana. And you can see the beautiful band by the Chandigarh Police acknowledging the effort, adding thrills to the event, mesmerizing the audience with the lovely ragas and tunes. Bib number 126, Jyoti of Haryana, on the turning at the loop, 595. So it is almost 1 hour and 46 minutes of action, thrill and drama. And there are a lot of athletes across the country from the various states of Punjab, the Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, and also the from the Sri Lanka is in action. And in women's section, the athletes from the Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, bib number 634, HMSR Hearth of Sri Lanka is in action, and you can and it's a warning board, a lot of red cards, 1, 2 and 3. One in the women's section has disqualified and 2 in the men's section. And this is 1, 3, 2. Komal Pal of Madhya Pradesh on the screen. This is a 1 kilometer loop designed by the Fong from the Hong Kong, and he's a Class A world class international road race measurer. It's a beautiful place, beautiful track.
So yes, we've had the 20 kilometers for the women and the men. We will now move on to the next of the events, which will be the under 20 girls. That will be 10 kilometers. And we will then have the 10 kilometers walk under 20 for the boys. But at this point of time, we're watching, of course, some of the others in the men and the women finishing off what has turned out to be a very, very fascinating event here at Chandigarh, the Sukna Lake, the locale. And this, of course, adding charm to the entire coverage. Temperatures ideal for the event, which obviously made Akshadeep get to his mark of 119.55. He bettered it here at this meet. The women may not have, but the competition was fierce even till the 18th kilometer mark. Munita Prajapati of Uttar Pradesh, Payal, and the ultimate winner Manjurani were absolutely close. It was anyone's event, and in the end it was Manjurani who made a double for Punjab to win the first position and the gold in the women's 20 kilometers. We will now set our eyes on the 10 kilometers for the under 20 girls and the boys. 24 in the girls and 55 in the boys. Coincidentally, the meet record in the 10 kilometers under 20 is in the name of Mansi Negi, 49 minutes 01. She was here in the women's 20 kilometers, so she has graduated from the junior ranks to the seniors. So the fact that 55 will start off in the 10 kilometers under 20 for boys and 24 will start off in the girls just goes to show the popularity of this sport. Race walking certainly catching the imagination of the youth of this nation. We are still there in the final stages of the men to finish off. The beauty of sports is to finish an event The beauty of the marathon, they say, the ultimate is to finish the marathon. Likewise, in the 20 and the 35 kilometers, the beauty for these athletes is to finish the event, and which is what we are still awaiting, the finish of the men's 20 kilometers. Tired legs, but they'll go back to the hotel rooms or wherever they're staying. The charm, of course, of completing the event at the end of the day is what every athlete looks forward to. Yes, winning 1, 2, 3, qualifying for the other big events coming up. In this case, Paris, the Olympic Games 2024 is a different matter altogether. But the charm of finishing an event is what every athlete looks at, whether it's the 20 kilometers or any other event of the 44 which are there in the athletic calendar. So a reminder that you're watching action at the 11th National Open Race Walking Competition 2024 in the city of Chandigarh, on the banks of the Sukna Lake. There on your picture frame is the Sukna Lake on the right, a spot where tourists come in or flock in large numbers whenever they visit Chandigarh. But out here, it's been a different morning for these athletes. Day one of the 2-day meet, starting off with the 20 kilometers, and then we'll finish the day with the 10 kilometers. Well, this for this athlete, it surely has been a long journey. It's been going on for an hour and 50 minutes, but he's perhaps told himself that come what may, I will go on to finish this event. Likewise for this girl, finishing the 20 kilometers, Nikita Lamba from Rajasthan, perhaps one of the last of the women to finish the 20 kilometers. And here in the men, finishing off the event. We are all set now for the 10 kilometers for the girls under 20, and that will be followed 10 minutes later with the start of the men's under 20 10 kilometers. Colorful atmosphere lending credence. The police band in attendance. On your picture frame, Ravindra Chaudhary, the Secretary of the Athletic Federation of India. It's been a super organization by the Chandigarh Amateur Athletic Association. It's been weeks and months of preparation for this event. We were lucky or blessed to come here for the junior meet a few months ago. It's a wonderful stadium in Sector 7 at Chandigarh. Behind us is the Raj Bhavan, as we are now ready for the start of the girls under 20 10 kilometers. 24 of them Aarti, Anushka Sharma, Indu, Monica, Reena, Ridhima, Sharmishta, Sia, Yogita, Nayana, Chakpram, Chanu from Manipur, the two Manipur girls, and Sheikh Minarshi, Diya, Kamalpreet Kaur, Arzu, Kavita, Khushbu, Mahima Chaudhary, Raja Santosh, Namira, Anushka, Sarojini, Srirani, and Vaishni Negi. 24 of them on your picture frame. The smiles. Nine from Haryana, one from Kerala, two from Manipur, two from Punjab, 5 from Rajasthan, one from Tamil Nadu, and 3 from Uttar Pradesh, with one entry from Uttarakhand. So that's the girls 10-kilometer race walk under 20. The meet record, Mansi Negi at Ranchi, 49 minutes 01.00, 14th of February 2021. So I make it about 55 odd minutes for this, or a little over 50 minutes. So all set. 24 starters. 10 minutes after they start, the men, 55 of them, will take off in the boys under 20 10 kilometers race walk. The sun still out in glory, making it slightly better for these athletes. Well, that smile will perhaps glitter on some of them. Will go on to take the 1, 2 and 3. For the others, it might fade away, but the joy of participation will be much more for these under 20, the future of this nation. So all set. By my watch, it's 11:55. Remember, they were slated to start at 11:40, but the men in the 20 kilometers, the finishers, some of the final finishers took that extra bit of time, an hour and 50 minutes, close to an hour and 50 minutes. 1:55 or 11:55 in the morning. It's still pleasant, slightly different from what the 20 kilometers started off. Ram Nivas joins me again. Ram, 10 kilometers for these under 20. We've had plenty of color in the 20 kilometers, and we're looking at some exciting moments here in the 10 kilometers also.
Yeah, this is the start of the girls 10 kilometer under 20, and the athletes are Aarti from Haryana, Anushka Sharma from Haryana. There is a total 9 athletes: Aarti, Anushka, Indu, Monica, Reena, Ridhima, Sharmistha and Sia from the Haryana. The one girl, the Nayana VB from Kerala. The athletes from the Manipur, Two athletes from the Punjab, Divya and Sheikh Minarashi. The athletes from the Rajasthan are Kamalpreet Kaur Deol, Arju, Kavita Dudi, Khushbu, Mahima Chaudhary, Raja Santosh Bambu, and the one athlete from the Tamil Nadu is Namira Fahima. Three athletes from the Uttar Pradesh, Anushka Yadav, Sarojini, and Sri Rani.
You know, very interesting an observation which I got to make at the start of the girls under 20 10 kilometers. You know, the temptation, I know you might find it a little amusing, but these girls and boys practice for days together. And the temptation when you start off, the first thought is, मैं दौड़ने शुरू करूँ क्या? So I wonder how that feeling is curbed by these boys and the girls. I know they go that mental training. The natural instinct for human being is to start running and not walking. So the natural instinct for anyone, even if you have practiced for weeks and months together, is मैं दौड़ने शुरू करूँ क्या? How do I curb that running part? Because remember, the first step that you take, and if it's a run, the red card will come straight away. So they've got to be extremely cautious to build up that mental frame of mind when they get on the start there, to make sure that the first step is a walk and not a run. No, I'm saying that. Yeah, but I'm saying out here, when they at the start.
Yeah, it's a very challenging. You know that some of the stigma is associated with the race walk, and in the rural areas when you are going for walk, people used to satire and they have to face the challenge. I know that some of the athletes, they used to wake up at 3 a.m. 2 a.m. to get for the training, so that the villagers and the people don't taunt them, they don't humiliate them, to avoid their slangs. They just trained early. This was the situation, but now the things has changed and the people are recognizing the event.
Wasn't it Parul Chaudhary who won the double gold at the Asian Games, where she made that statement that when she was young, we're talking about this because this is just the first part of the 10 kilometers, the first few minutes. She came from Meerut and she was told by the neighbors that your job, आपका काम घर में रहना है, किचन में रहना है, शादी करनी है. And today look at what she's done. She set a trend for the girls among so many of them. You know, the PT Ushas and the Ashwini Nachappas and the Shiny Wilsons, and now down to the Priyanka Goswamis and the Parul Chaudharys and the Bains. You know, the daughter of Harmilan Bains, yes, whose mother was also an international athlete. So things have changed now, as you mentioned. I think Parul Chaudhary was also told you shouldn't be wearing shorts. So the mentality needs to change. It is changing. And when victory starts coming to you at the international level, not the national level, but the international level, I think the mindset changes automatically. So today, these girls on your picture frame, they're all encouraged. They're all encouraged by their parents. Parents' mindsets have changed. Girls from Manipur, these two girls there, Chakram Naocha Chanu, and along with her compatriot Sheikh Minarshi. So far-flung state of Manipur hosted the national games in Imphal, doing well in martial arts, boxing, hockey, archery, and here today we find them doing extremely well in athletics. You know, the last 2 odd years that I've been with going around with the AFI channel, as also with Doordarshan, I've been seeing a lot of athletes now coming from Meghalaya, from Manipur, from Mizoram, and that augurs well. You know, because if sports is concentrated only in a few cities or a few states, it will not be it will not get us the champions. And more than the champions, we all know that sports builds character. It builds camaraderie. It makes a strong nation. You remember the famous saying by Winston Churchill, and we don't want wars to be fought, but he said that the Battle of Britain was won on the playfield of Ero and Eton. There you are. And as the men will now start off 10 minutes later in the 10 kilometers. So, early stages of the 10 kilometers for the girls and the boys. And you mentioned the girls now don't have to get up at 4 o'clock. They may get up at 4 o'clock to train because their coaches push them. But I don't think they now get up at 4 o'clock to train because they don't want the others to see. I'm sure they must be saying, "Humko aake dekho," so that we get more girls and boys to take to athletics.
Yes, I think the challenge has been reduced. And, here is the lineup for the boys 10-kilometer race under 20.
It's going to take you half an hour to read the names.
It's a 55 athletes in a fray for their excellence in the boys 10-kilometer race walk. So it's a 2 races, the girls under 20 10-kilometer and the boys under 20 10-kilometer is in progress. So the 508 Dipanshu of Haryana in the early lead. So there will be a lot of leader changing in the coming laps. So we can't predict anything here now. So it's a jostling and the huge pack, big crowd. That gradually will be separated from the rest of the races. Yes, this sports is popularizing in the village also, and you know the champions and the winners mostly are coming from the villages. It's not in the India, but in the globally, the most of the players are coming from the villages background. Their rituals, their routines has prepared them for naturally they prepared them for being athletes, I think. But still, there is a need to be a lot of education for the women's participation, especially at the junior level in the primary section. Nobody's taking care. It's only the coaches they are striving, but the schools they are still lacking their basic infrastructure and the facilities, so that more athletes can become into a fray.
It will change, Ram. It will change with the passage of time, and that perhaps is one of the reasons as to why NITJAM has been formed. The mentorship of Dr. Lalit Bhanot, Adil Sumariwala, the other AFI officials. You remember last year in Patna there were 6,000 athletes, and not a single athlete was turned away. Some of them had not registered. They came to Patna. They travelled from far and wide. And 6,000 athletes in NITJAM. 6,000 athletes took part. And as I said, not a single athlete. Under 14, under 16, they were shortlisted. I think 300 or 400 of them. And under the tutelage of coaches all over the... And look at the athletes now. Not only India, but they train all over the world. You just mentioned about Priyanka Goswami training in Australia. Neeraj Chopra trains abroad. Avinash Sable trained in the United States before the Olympic Games, before the Asian Games. He beat, can you imagine? And I think it's worth talking about it while we're watching the leaders here in the pack. You've got Roshan Kumar of Jharkhand. So there's another state now in the lead. It's a different matter that he may win, he may not win. But he's there in the lead. So going back to Avinash Sable, while the event is in the initial stages of the 10 kilometers, can you imagine 28 years the Kenyans' monopoly was never broken. 28 years in the Commonwealth Games. And here comes this boy from the Mahar regiment and upsets the Kenyans. Shock, wasn't it? 28 years not beaten here.
So the boys 10-kilometer race under 20 is in progress, and it's a crowded start. The women's 10-kilometer is also in progress. Yes, Avinash Sable, he just narrowly missed the Olympic final qualification. Being in another heat, if he could be in the heat semi-final one, he could be in the finals of the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase.
But the point I'm making is that 29 medals. You know, when we started, I remember you said 29 medals at the Asian Games at Hangzhou. had athletics not got those 29 medals, India wouldn't have reached the target of 100 plus. 107 wasn't it? 107. So 29 medals, 6 gold. At every event that I go to commentate, and you ask a young athlete, what do you want to become? He's a 100-meter young boy. He's a 400-meter. He's a short putter. He's a high jumper, and he says, "मुझे नीरज चोपड़ा बनना है." So you need icons in sport. We had Milkha Singhs and we had Gurbachan Singh Randhawas. But today Neeraj Chopra has set a different bar altogether. A gold medal at the Olympics. Did you dream? Well, we dreamt, but it's now become a reality. And today Finland, which used to dominate the javelin throw, today they're worried that we have someone who's better than us. And can you imagine? He's won the Olympic gold, he's won the World Championship, he's won Diamond Leagues, he's won the Commonwealth gold, he's won the Asian gold. What more can you ask for? And the pressure will be there on him because the whole nation is looking at Neeraj Chopra winning another gold.
Yeah, it was the LTDP program.
And a product of NITJAM again. And a product of NITJAM.
It was an LTDP program, long-term athletics development program, and under the patronage of the Athletic Federation of India, the almost 684 districts. It's the biggest and the largest program in the world. The World Athletic has admired the effort of the Athletic Federation of India, that the 684 districts of the Indias are participating in the NITJAM, and the Neeraj Chopra and the Duti Chand. They are all are the product of these programs, and hope that we will bring more champions, more icons from these events. I think so. Hope, Wagli sir, that in the future we can see the more heroes from the out of the NITJAM.
Oh yes, absolutely. I think very certain. We will get this girl Mansi Negi, not a product of NITJAM, but she's a product of the junior meets. One of them.
Those women finished with the timing of 1:36 below. They will be participating for tomorrow.
One Chakaram Nachochanu of the Manipur in the women's section, followed by the 117 Khushbu of Rajasthan. So in the 1 kilometer loop, this is the turning point.
So the 10 kilometers for the girls into its 16th odd minute. The men started 10 minutes later after the boys started 10 minutes later after the girls. They also will race walk the 10 kilometers. We're so used to running that even as commentators, we're tempted to say they've got to run another 15 kilometers or run another 10 kilometers. I'm so happy that the AFI is beaming this live telecast of a walking event. The only way, Ram, you can promote an event, there are various ways to do it. As I said, one of them is to organize is at a wonderful place like this.
while the athletes from the villages are seeing their brothers and sister into actions, and they will be get motivated that one day I want to be on the screen and want to get the laurel for the countries.
So which is what I said. Which is what I said, that one of the there are various ways of promoting a sport. Have it at a wonderful location like this, and I hope that the various AFI officials from the various states who are present out here get an encouragement. Just take the city of Hyderabad. They have the Hussain Sagar Lake there, wonderful location. You have the Marine Drive in Mumbai, just an example, or in Delhi you have Connaught Place. I know Connaught Place may not be possible because there's traffic there, but the point I'm making is, that one of the ways to encourage sport is with a live telecast. The more you have live telecast, the more the athletes will be. I like to be seen on television. That's on the lighter side. But I like to be seen on television. You like to be seen on television. So the athletes like the same. The girls and the boys in the villages tell their folks, मुझे देखो कल मैं दौड़ रही हूँ, television पे आ रही हूँ. So that is another way to encourage a youngster. The pride of being seen by your nation, the pride of being seen by the world. This telecast is, I know, I have friends who've seen it abroad. So the joy for these athletes to say that I will be on television, I will win, I may participate, are aspects which might promote the sport. So here you are, the initial part, the 10 kilometers that you're watching. Early days, as I said, but yes, fascinating.
Yes, 517, the Roshan Kumar, and the 519, Dataram Ladu Dalvi of Maharashtra is leading in the boys under 20 10 kilometer. Yes, Wagle, you rightly said, Mr. Wagle, you rightly said that the social media is a springboard for the self-motivation and for the motivation among their families, for their villages, and it will encourage all their friends and their relatives to come into the race walking and all kind of these events. And social media is definitely a springboard, that is a platform to showcase their talent, that yes, we are on the national events, and this is a qualification event for the Olympics also. So that will be a great motivation, not only for them, for their parents, as well as their coaches and the entire team, those who are catering their needs, the physio, the mental trainer, all that people are very, very important. And the venue, yes, the Chandigarh has set the bar, has set the standard. This is a beautiful venue. That this way, as the sir was mentioning, the Marine Drive, the India Gate, and the Hussain Sagar Lake. India is means holding the geographical condition of the entire world, and we have the geography, flora and fauna of the entire world, and we can have an event. We can host an event like.
Yes, another area that athletics in particular can encourages tourism. So tourism is another aspect that I keep on saying, that you hold an event of this magnitude, the tourism gets a boost. Again, athletics is one event. Can you imagine? I can't think of any other sport which has such variety. 100 is different from the 200. The 200 is different from the 400. The 400 is different from the 800. The shot put is different from the hammer. The hammer is different from the discus. The high jump is different from the pole vault. The long jump is different from the triple jump.
Yes,
So,
therefore, we are the mother of all the games, Mr. Wagle. Yeah, we are the mother of all the games.
So please have continue.
share for 5-7 minutes. Let him sit down. Ram. So while we have the 10 kilometers, Ram might take a little break to enjoy his coffee. Joining us here in the Combox is the Commandant of the Army Sports Institute, Colonel Gill. I've had a great opportunity to talk to him doing water polo, and from water polo we now shift to race walk. Yes, Well, we're watching the initial part of this event. Colonel Gill, welcome to the AFI out here. You've had a few boys, and when I mean few, they constituted 25% of the participants. Just goes to show, as I said, gets me pride to talk to the commandant of the ASI. I've had so much of regard for the institution, going back to the time when it was formed by General Rodriguez, wasn't it? And it's grown in stature. From the time we last spoke at the National Games in Rajkot to what's happening out here, race walking at the ASI, take us through.
Thank you very much. We last interacted along the swimming pool where the water polo is on. Here we are interacting again at the race walking event. The water remains the same. We are here at just the side of Sukhna Lake. Beautiful atmosphere, beautiful weather, and fantastically organized event by the Athletic Federation of India. So going back to your question, at ASI we are focusing primarily on middle and the long distance events at ASI, and marathon and race walk being one of our forte here. Going with that regards, we have a foreign coach had from Mr. Abida from Morocco, himself as an Olympian for the marathoners, and we are looking forward for a foreign coach for race walking event also. And as brought out by you, 25% of the constituent of the participants of the event, and the top three are from services.
So yes, there you are. Race walking, very different. The nation all talks of, or the world talks of runners, throwers, jumpers. Race walking, at least in this country, doesn't seem to get the same impetus as I mentioned, running. How do you build up for the youth of this nation? A locale like this, could it be one? What else can we do? What else can the army do? What else can the ASI do to make sure that these boys and girls take to race walking? Fascinating event.
Yeah, you are correct, bringing out that the glory that the middle distance or the javelin throwers or the shot putters get vis-a-vis the race walkers. You know, I was speaking to a few of our athletes, and the major thing that was brought out by them is that if you look at marathon is an event which goes in the country. It is organized all across the countryside, and they tend to earn some sort of incentive out of it, so they can support themselves. However, that is not the case in race walking if you look at it. So this is one of the biggest factor that is not allowing or persuading the youngsters to take forth in race walking.
We've got the leaders out here. Anyone in the 10 kilometers, the under 20? No. So
We have four boys participating in it, and I'm hopeful that they will finish in top five.
so when you speak of the under 20, 3 or 4 of your boys taking part, how do you pick them up? The reason I'm asking this question, and I'm going to again draw you to another question after that, is why would these boys take to race walking at the ASI or the armed forces? Because when you see someone like, when I go to Knit Jam, the event which the AFI conducts, if you ask a boy running the 100 meters under 14, or if you look at a discus thrower, young boy, he says, when I ask him, kya banna hai? The young boy comes from a rural background, and he says, mujhe Neeraj Chopra banna hai. So you ask any youngster today, he says, meko Neeraj Chopra banna hai. Why would these boys who come to you, these 4 boys, take to race walking?
We have a boys sports company where 8 to 14-year-old kids come and join. So we pick up boys based on the events that they've been doing previously. And at certain point of time, we do involve the talent migration. If they're not succeeding here, they switch to another event. However, Neeraj Chopra has made the country proud, and people are taking up sports as a career now. However, race walking, it takes different kind of mental makeup. It is very challenging, very demanding if you look at it physically. The only thing what I look forward to is getting it, the kind of impetus that marathoners are getting in the country, the kind of financial support they are getting in the country. If we are able to do that, I'm telling you that this will be our next glory event for us.
So that brings me to that question which I had kept in reserve, is that while the marathons all over the world, right from Pheidippides in 446 BC, there you are, the first of the Reds have come up. I keep on saying the Reds I like is the Red of Liverpool, not Manchester United. But the Reds here certainly for the bend knee and the lift of the toe is obviously the red cards have started coming up here in the boys and the girls. Not something which the athlete there with the 3 red cards would like to see. Because he gets one more, and that's shopping then for him in Chandigarh at the end of the day. But going back to that question, when you have an event like this televised by the FI, today from 10 o'clock till the finish of the 10 kilometers, we're going to be live. Likewise, tomorrow, the 35 and the other event, we're going to be live. So, do you think a child or children like to be seen on television? I was talking to my colleague commentator, and I said I like to be, after 49 years of commentating, when someone says Wagle साहब आपको मैंने टीवी पे देखा था, that's on the lighter side of course. So these children in the villages like to tell their folks that मैं कल टीवी पे आने वाली हूँ या आने वाला हूँ. Television coverage, is that one of the ways amongst many ways to bring this home, and the children then saying, why should I not take to this?
Definitely, yeah. Unless their folks back home, their parents, their relatives, they can see their boys running, sweating it out, competing with other athletes. Until as you showcase it to them, I believe definitely it's going to affect the motivation for act as a motivation for others. Definitely, no doubts about it.
And Colonel, walking today, although race walking is very different from a normal morning walk that you and I take. I know as the Colonel of the SI, you're with your boys. You're with your boys, obviously, doing a lot of strenuous stuff. Unlike us in the civil world who have a casual walk. But walking comes naturally to a human being, again. So I'm sure when the civilian world watches these boys and the girls at whatever levels, again, a way to promote the sport.
Yeah, one of the initiatives that AFI has undertaken is to televise it and let us reach the last man in the country if it is possible. That is surely one of the way to make the event popular, so that more and more talent comes and join it.
If you look at the girls out there in the center, we've got 2 girls from Manipur. At the events over the last 2 years, including I think last week when I was in Chennai for the Khelo India Youth Games track and field, there was a representation and a win from Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Assam, of course, heading the list out there. Assam has always been good at table tennis. I remember at swimming, they have been excellent at swimming. So that's right, Hima Das. So sports today is no longer, yesterday, and I don't like to discuss that game on an athletic forum, cricket. Uttar Pradesh beat Mumbai outright. So sports today, athletics, track and field, is no longer the domain of the urban India.
Yeah, that's right. That has been made possible mainly because of the IT revolution that has taken place in the country. You can just sit in your room and watch it live on your mobile. So, we were talking about the northeastern states. Initially, they were known for boxers and good weightlifters. But now you'll find in other events also the talent coming up from that part of the country. We have few wrestlers in ASI. We have few girls. We have 2 Manipuri boys running, doing the race walking event.
Oh, wonderful. Get back to the leaders out there while our discussion does continue with Colonel Gill, the commandant of the Army Sports Institute, a wonderful institution in the city of Pune. We just saw the leaders there of the pack in the boys with Aditya Negi of Uttarakhand. What also comes to mind is, and I go back to a dear friend of mine, Surinder Singh, 5,000 and 10,000 meters, Subedar Surinder Singh, who now trains the marathoners. Nitin Rawat, does he train at the ASI?
He's part of ASI. As of now, presently, he is training in Ooty.
So while we watch these 10-kilometer walkers, Colonel Shivnath Singh's record of 2 hours 11 minutes goes set in Jalandhar is now, I think, 5 decades old. The world has improved. You know, the world record has been broken virtually every year at Berlin in on that course. Why is it, and what should we be doing? Because I know T. Gopi, Nitin Rawat, a lot of the services runners who have been dadas, as we call at the marathon. What is it that stops them from breaking Shivnath Singh's record? Wonderful runner, Shivnath, Sriram. But what is it that stops these marathon runners from breaking that record?
Just a matter of time. I'm telling you, just a matter of time.
I like that. I like that attitude. Yes, positive.
Yeah, just a matter of time. Our athletes have been coming very close to 2:8, 2:9. They're running it. It's just a matter of time. More experience if they gain by attending more number of foreign exposures. Now AFI is also supporting them, getting a lot of foreign coaches. But I don't think the day is too far for us to see that the national record being broken here somewhere in the near future, maybe a year down the line.
And since you mentioned about support while we watch for you, we're not breaking away, remember, from what is happening there in the center. This is the 10 kilometers walk for boys and girls under 20. So the other aspect is the last 5, 6, 7 years, your various institutions, the JSW, Olympic Gold Quest, so many of these, and these institutions with the likes of Vishwanathan Anand and Geet Sethi and Abhinav Bindra, Viren Raskina, the COO. I can't imagine 20 years back an international sportsman being the COO, doing his MBA at India's premier institution, and then becoming. I know one of your colleagues, the commandant of the ASI, is now with TOPS. Yes. So this goes to show the support that these walkers, runners, throwers, and I'm confining my discussion only to athletics out here, are getting from these institutions.
Yeah, for the last for the last decade or so, the participation or the involvement of the people from civil state is also very encouraging, like JSW, Reliance Foundation, OGQ. The list is growing day by day, and the support that we are getting is day by day. In a country of around 140 crores, we are economically growing, but the amount of support, assistance that is required by these athletes from the government, although it's there, but at times you find not able to reach the grassroots level. So there these civil players definitely they are doing their part. I know it's not what exactly is required, but definitely start has been made, and definitely in the times to come more number of people will come in. Like you just mentioned about the previous commandant, CEO TOPS. Likewise, people move up, go to various kind of institutions, organizations. They can understand the psyche of an athlete. That's where the support will come through.
Colonel, 54 started off in the in the 20 kilometers men, and 55 now in the under 20. I can't think of any sport in an individual event where you got 55 and 54.
Yeah, if you go back maybe 5 years down the line, the number is ever increasing. It would have been 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Now it has grown to 54, and in the near future it grow in triple figures, maybe 200, 150 odd.
So walking, just to end this chat with you, and tomorrow I'm going to get you here again. I'm sure you're here tomorrow.
I'm here, sure.
You're here for your boys. So just to end, walking has come to stay.
Yeah, definitely. It
Race
is there.
walking.
Yeah, race walking, it is there. The only thing is if we can make it popular, support them financially, definitely it's gonna race walk ahead of marathon.
And well, the last question, the AFI, I've been a part of it for 5 decades, as I said. The AFI should look at organizing such meets at the local level, the state level, and then a few at the national level.
Definitely. Why stop at national level? I'm saying the kind of venue that we have in front of us, we can organize an international event. Why not? Go for that.
Wonderful.
Start from grassroots. Go for international level.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know Colonel Gill and the team at the ASI are extremely 10 kilometers for the boys and the girls under 20 here on day 1 of the 11th National Open Race Walking Competition 2024. Punjab dominated the boys, the men and the women earlier on, and we now have Uttarakhand in the men. There you are. It continues to be the same with Aditya Negi and Himanshu Kumar. Between the two, who has the resolve, who has that final fling to head home to take 1 and 2?
And on the screen 547, heading for his the last lap in his last loop. So this is a beautiful day, the perfect weather condition, the humidity level, the temperature is optimum for the performance and assisting the athlete. So it's a beautiful day in the city beautiful at the Sukhna Lake, and it will be written in the annals of the history that we hosted the national championship of the race walking, and that event is ultimately the qualifier for the Olympics.
Just going off your picture frame was K. Joy, the chief judge. He comes from that wonderful hill station of Wayanad in Kerala. George Shinde, one of the judges of your picture frame, comes from Cochin or Kochi. There is K. Joy. Oh, now the coaches are all encouraging their wards.
Chief judge, he is keeping his eagle eye. In the last 100 meters, there can be a disqualification by the single card. And the crowd is roaring for their athletes.
You have Himanshu Kumar and Aditya Negi.
(101). Aarti has touched the tape. Aarti representing Haryana.
So it all continues here toward that final moment. The 10 kilometers, boys and girls under 20. The 11th National Open Race.
The international referee, who is very vigilant in the last 100 meters. So it's a 5-4-8 and 5-5-1. Yeah, 5-5-1.
Himanshu Kumar of Uttarakhand takes 1. Aditya Negi of Uttarakhand takes 2. And you know, Ram, I saw a wonderful picture earlier on. The ideals of the Olympic Games, which all come down then to the other games, where Himanshu passed on a water bottle to Aditya Negi. You know, he didn't say, "Main tere ko pani nahi dunga." But, you know, that was the beauty on your picture frame where two competitors, each vying for the gold medal of position 1 and 2, one passed on a water bottle to the other. You can't have a better picture than that.
Yeah, the sports not only build the character, but it reveals it. It reveals it, and that is the fair play, and that makes the good citizen of the society. And this is the place where we can imbibe the ethics, the values, and the true sportsmanship, the fair play, and all that.
So yes, friends are made, everlasting friends. Of course, the two come from Uttarakhand. So obviously they train together, they are friends, but you could have a situation where 1 and 2 could be from 2 different states, and that's where friendship starts.
Actually, it's in the during the refreshment time. Whosoever is the close, sometimes they picks the double, triple refreshment stuff, so they can pass to their athletes. So they won't lose their time while picking up their stuff. So because there is a when they are heading for the refreshment station, there is some time loss. So the co-athletes they help their co-athletes to get the better advantage. Don't lose of the time.
Well, there have been cases in international events where one athlete has picked up a fellow athlete from a different country, attended to him, and in the bargain, he has gone on to lose the event when he was leading the event. So that's been the beauty of sports in track and field.
Yes, we can just assist the athlete to just stand up, but we cannot assist him to the movement because that assistance is amount to be the violation of the rules, and that amount to be the disqualification. This is where we have abide by the bounding by the certain rules, and we have to follow it. And here is a 5-1-2 Nitish of Haryana. It's a beautiful finishing point, a well raised platform. Lot of works going. The judges, the officials on the toes, very hectic for them, keeping their vigilant eyes.
Remember, this is very different from track and field because there the activity is limited to 8 athletes. In the 100, the 200. Here you've got 54 of them. So keeping an eye on all 54 is not an easy thing.
Yeah, and same time when there is a 20 laps and 30 laps, so there is a lot of overlapping. So it's a focusing and the acid test for the officials also. It's an acid test for the officials also, how vigilant they are. And this is for that the AFI is conducting lot of seminar and workshop and making them handy for all that kind of affairs.
Yes, you did mention about seminars. One of the seminars that is conducted regularly at AFI meets is the one on doping, to make sure that the needle is not used by the athletes. The parents are taught, the coaches are taught, the young athletes are taught. The other is, of course, overtraining, and the third is safety. So these are the 3 aspects which the Athletic Federation of India emphasizes on every meet, seniors and juniors.
Yes, in all the
Kind attention, everyone. All the athletes who have finished in 20-kilometer race walk event today can participate in 10-kilometer tomorrow.
So yes, a wonderful
All the
opportunity.
athletes
Ram,
have to give their confirmation
all
to
those
Mr. Neeraj
athletes who have
near the
completed the
result
20
management
kilometers race walk,
desk. This is
can
the
take part
selection for the
in the 10 kilometers. So
World Race Walking
it's a wonderful
Championships
opportunity. It's a wonderful opportunity.
yes, it's a rule that those who have not completed, they cannot compete in the next events.
event
And the mixed
Complete
race
किया
walking
है।
event is also coming up.
वो 10
So the mixed
किलोमीटर
team
में
will also
भाग ले
select for
सकते
the
हैं।
world championship.
We spoke of innovation.
World Race Walking Championships
So
की
one of the
relay team का चयन
innovations
है।
is the mixed
और जो
relay.
भी भाग लेना चाहते हैं एथलीट वो अपनी कंफर्मेशन नीरज को आकर रिजल्ट मैनेजमेंट डेस्क के पास आकर अपनी कंफर्मेशन दें।
At the Khelo India Youth Games on in Chennai, one of the other innovation was a medley relay. So a 1,000 meters medley relay in which each of the runners runs 100, 200, 300 and a 400. So that's a different innovation. The whole idea is to expose them to a different field. If you recollect that Nidjam, the javelin thrower, does not throw with a regular javelin. He throws it with a javelin which has been innovated, which has exactly the kids' javelin, which has been innovated by us. So, likewise, they don't run the 800 meters, but they run the 600 meters. They don't run the 100 meters, but they run the 60 meters. So the idea is not to overtrain them, not overexpose them at the 14 and under 16, but then embark upon that journey.
Even in high jump also, they can use only scissor technique. No Fosbury flap and no other techniques is allowed. To see the how the vertical thrust is better among them. To see their vertical lifting potential.
The javelin is only 500 grams.
Yeah, it's invented by the Vinex, and a lot of javelin has been dispersed. And I think it will popularize. The 7th August will be the I mean historical day for the years and years to for the India in the coming.
So we're there at the finish now for the 24 in the girls and 55 in the men. The ideals to make sure that you participate, you finish, that joy when you go back to your hotel room, to your village, your town, your city is amazing. Yes, we all like to win, don't we? We all like to finish off as 1, 2, and 3. But at the end of the day, you can only have
Kind attention.
1,
everyone.
1, 2, and
All the
3.
athletes who have finished the 20-kilometer race walk event today can participate in 10-kilometer race walk event tomorrow. And you must give your confirmation to Neeraj at the result management desk. It is the selection for the World Race
This
Walking
loop
Championship
of
relay team.
1 kilometer,
जिन भी एथलीट्स ने 20 किलोमीटर रेस वॉक इवेंट को कंप्लीट किया है, आज पूरा किया है, वो कल 10 किलोमीटर रेस वॉक इवेंट में भाग ले सकते हैं. जो एथलीट्स भी कल भाग लेना चाहते हैं, आज नीरज को रिजल्ट मैनेजमेंट डेस्क पे आके अपनी कंफर्मेशन दीजिए. ये वर्ल्ड रेस वॉकिंग चैंपियनशिप्स की रिले टीम का चयन है, तो आपको कंफर्मेशन देना अनिवार्य है.
the other big event coming up is the World Walk Relay Championships. And the 10 kilometers tomorrow, where those who have finished the 20 kilometers can participate, is an opportunity for them to vie for selection of the Indian contingent. So we've had 4 events during the course of the morning. We started off with the 20 kilometers race walk, where it was Manjurani of Punjab who took the first. And in the men's 20 kilometer walk, the meet record holder Akshadeep Singh of Punjab went on to claim a gold in the men's 20 kilometers.
For everyone, just downstairs, so all can have and
The boys 10 kilometer race walk under 20 was won by Himanshu Kumar, who pipped Aditya Negi, his compatriot from Uttarakhand.
this is an open lunch for all. Thank you very much.
The final moments of
All the medal winners are requested
the
to get ready for the medal
men, the boys and the girls under
The
20.
ceremony will just took place after the finishing of the event. Within the 5 minutes, the medal ceremony will take place.
We will have
All the
the
medal winners are requested to
the
stay
grand
around
finale
the
of day
field.
1
Thank you very much.
of the 4 events. The medals will look so sweet to the winner, slightly bitter
All
to the
female
others who did not
athletes
finish.
who have completed the 20-kilometer race walk event can participate in 10-kilometer race walk event tomorrow. And you must give your confirmation to Mr. Neeraj at the result management desk.
So while we wait for the finish of the girls 10 kilometers under 20, the final confirmation of the first two finals, the girls or the women's final, where 20 kilometers, Manju Rani of Punjab, 1 hour 34 minutes, 16.67, took the first. Payal Uttarakhand, 1 hour 34 minutes, 45.10, and Munita Prajapati Uttar Pradesh, 1 hour 35 minutes, 36.16. That's the women's. And in the men's, Akshadeep Singh retained the title. Punjab 119.37. Suraj Panwar of Uttarakhand 1 hour 19 minutes 43.06. And Servan Tamil Nadu 1 hour 20 minutes 29.65. Punjab taking number one in both the men and the women 20 kilometers.
Hello, mic check. All the medal winners are requested to report near the announcing area. 20 kilometer women's, 20 kilometer men, 10 kilometer under 20 boys and 10 kilometer under 20 girls. Please report for the medal ceremony. In the women's section, Manu Rani of Punjab, Payal of Uttarakhand, and Munita Prajapati of Uttar Pradesh. Please report.
All the athletes who completed the 20-kilometer race walk event today, all the female athletes who completed the 20-kilometer race walk event today can participate in 10-kilometer race walk event tomorrow. You all are requested to give your confirmation to Mr. Neeraj near the result management desk. This is the selection for the World Race Walking Team Championships. So you all are requested to give your confirmation if you want to participate tomorrow in the 10-kilometer race walk event. Thank you.
यहाँ होने के बाद क्या करना है? गुरुद्वारा यहाँ होने के बाद जाएंगे 5 मिनट वहाँ पर कल जाना था नहीं हुआ तो ठीक है कोई नहीं, भगवान का तो मैं बोल दिया मैं कल आ जाऊँगा।
हाँ जी हाँ जी इतना एक्सपीरियंस हो गया अब तो चलती है ट्यूनिंग है ये वाला सुनूंगा पूरा
Hello. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to draw your attention for the 20-kilometer race walk women's final. The medals will be presented by the Dr. Ravinder Chaudhary. He is the Secretary General Athletic Federation of India and will be accompanied by Mr. Jaspinder Singh, the Secretary, Chandigarh Athletic Association. Please welcome the medalist. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of bronze medal is Munita of Uttar Pradesh with a timing of 1 hour, 35 minutes and 36 seconds. Please welcome the medalist. The winner of the silver medal is the Payal representing Uttarakhand with a timing of 1 hour, 34 minutes and 45 seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of gold medal is the Manju of Punjab with a timing of 1 hour, 34 minutes and 16 seconds. Congratulations all the medal winners, and it's a lovely, wonderful ceremony, and the credit goes to the Chandigarh Athletic Association under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Ravinder Chaudhary, Jaspinder Singh. This is a lovely, wonderful ceremony. Congratulations medal winners. Thank you, Dr. Ravinder Chaudhary, the Secretary General, and the Mr. Jaspinder Singh. Thank you for doing the award ceremony. I will request the Colonel Digvijay Gill, please come for the medal ceremony. Digvijay Singh Gill, Devraj Gill, sir. And I will also request the Mr. Stanley Jones for the medal ceremony. Colonel Devraj Gill, please. I will also request the Stanley Jones, sir, to do the honor. Stanley Jones, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the second event of the day, the women's 20-kilometer race walk, men's 20-kilometer race walk. The medals will be presented by the Colonel Devraj Gill, the Commandant Army Sports Institute, Pune, and will be accompanied by the Stanley Jones, the Chairman Technical Committee, AFI. Please welcome the medalist. Winner of bronze medal is Sarvin of Tamil Nadu. His timing is 1 hour, 20 minutes and 29 seconds. By 0.19 seconds missed the Olympic qualification. Winner of the silver medal is Suraj of Uttarakhand, also qualified for the Olympics. The boy has qualified for the Olympics with a timing of 1 hour 19 minutes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is a boy who already qualified for the Olympics. The boy from the Navy, Akshadeep Singh of Punjab, with a timing of 1 hour and 19 minutes, and with a folded hat, greeting the audience. The medals are presented by the Gill sir, and the book is by the Stanley Jones, the Chairman Technical Committee. Congratulations, all the medal winners. Very well organized, the mesmerizing and spellbounding display by the Chandigarh Athletic Association. A beautiful display, a real Shakti Pradarshan by the Chandigarh Athletic Association. Wonderful job. Thank you, Mr. Gill. Thank you, Stanley Jones, sir, for doing the honor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next event, you are going to witness the medal ceremony of 10 kilometer under 20 women's. The medals will be presented by the Vijay Mala Bhanot Arjuna Awardee and will be accompanied by Mr. Satish Uchal, the Secretary, Maharashtra Athletic Association, also the Convener, Athletic Federation of India. Please welcome the medalist. Bronze medal is Chakparam Nauchachano, representing Manipur, with a timing of 51 minutes and 21 seconds. It's a beautiful display and a mesmerizing performance by the Chandigarh Athletic Association. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of silver medal is Vaishnavi Negi of Uttarakhand, with a timing of 49 minutes and 31 seconds. The medals are presented by the Arjuna Awardee Vijay Mala Bhanot, and the bouquet is presented by the Satish Uchal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the gold medal is Aarti of Haryana. Yes, well greeted by the Bhanot ma'am, and bouquet presentation is by Mr. Satish Uchal. Congratulations, all the medal winners, and stay intact for a photo frame. beautiful, lovely memories at the beautiful city with the beautiful memories at the Sukna Lake. Congratulations, all the medal winners. Thank you, Dr. Vijayamala Banot, and thank you, Mr. Uchil, for gracing the occasion. And this is a magical moment, great moment. Mr. Paramjit Singh, who broke the record of Milkha Singh, is gracing the occasion. The medals will be presented by the Arjuna awardee Paramjit Singh and will be accompanied by Mr. Ramesh Handa, the Senior Vice President, Chandigarh Athletic Association. Please welcome the medalist. Medal is the boy from the Jharkhand, Roshan Kumar, with a timing of 41 minutes and 28 seconds. The medals is presented by the legendary Mr. Paramjit Singh. The bouquet is presented by Mr. Ramesh Handa. The winner of the silver medal is from Uttarakhand, Mr. Aditya Negi, with a timing of 41 minutes and 12 seconds. It's a mesmerizing and spellbounding performance, a beautiful venue, well organized. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the winner of gold medal is Himanshu Kumar, representing Uttarakhand. The boys under 20 10-kilometer winner with a timing of 41 minutes and 11 seconds. Congratulations, all the medal winners. Please stay intact for the group photograph. Yeah, that's going to be lovely memories. We'll cherish in coming years. And these boys will be one day in the Olympics by 2028 LA or 2032, or maybe in the Indian Olympics in 2036. Well done, boys. Congratulations, medal winners. Thank you, Mr. Paramjit Singh. Thank you, Dr. Handa. Thank you, everyone.